And we are back once again in Haydee. I am Hellbeard, and we are in the red zone save area right at the beginning there. I'm going to walk you through the kind of an introduction to the black section. I know if you've been following along, we just did some blue section adventuring, and we're not finishing up there yet. We do need some stuff out of the black section. Namely, we need the 2 red key cards in this section and also a third receiver. So we are getting the receiver in this one. And this one will serve as sort of an introduction to how the black section works. And okay, I worked up this little diagram to show what's going on in the black section. So you notice across the top we have, on the left we have S for the stairs, and on the right L for the lift. This area is divided into 4 levels with a staircase and a lift on either side of it. The floors A, B, and C with a G at the bottom. G is where you get the crowbar, and there's also a barred door to open later. C has the control room and another barred door that we're going to need to open to progress further. B has the save room and a door to one of the endings. A is just the entrance where you go in. What we are going to do first is we are going to get into the control room. There are batteries that you put into the wall there that power up different areas. There's a battery location for A, B, and C, S, and L. There's actually a battery location for G, but we'll get to that later. That's not in the main control room. In order to operate the lift, you need to power the lift and the corresponding floor where you want to hit the button. It is possible to move the lift into a position where you've killed your game, basically. So I'm going to step you through everything you need to do to avoid that. Basically, you do not want to find yourself on floor A if you do not have floor A and the lift powered, because then you can never bring the lift back down. I suggest you make a save to game file right here and just leave it aside just in case. Okay, you notice that little room at the top right next to the lift? That's a little room on top of floor C that has the third receiver. As you can see from the stairs, you can get from floor A to floor G and from floor B to floor C. The lift allows you to move from the floor at the bottom of the lift to the floor right above the lift. And that can be raised or lowered to have the bottom at floor A or floor B or floor C. In order to get that third receiver, we need to raise the lift to floor C. And while it's up there, we will drop down. There's actually a little health pack underneath the lift if you go back down to floor A, and then we will replace the lift to where it is. I know this kind of seems a little bit complicated, but we'll get through it. Don't worry. Anyway, continuing on. For equipment, you're going to need your screwdriver. You won't need your pliers or your crowbar for this one. You will need the 2 batteries that you should have picked up. One of these batteries is in the red section. One of them is in the blue section. We've already covered how to get those. You will need your receiver and your transmitter. You'll need your night vision goggles, obviously. And your weapon of choice. I'm just using my standard pistol because I'm running low on ammo for my other guns. And yeah, let's get into it. There's not too much loot to get, so you won't run out of space too quickly. Got the goggles. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn right here. This leads us to the lift. And from the lift, we can climb up these boxes and get to floor B. With our ultimate goal right now of reaching floor C. This door right here will lead you to one of the endings of the game. We can't really do anything with it yet, but I suppose I can at least show it off. Here you go. There's a switch you'll need to put a receiver on to get in there, and in this back side right there is one of the doors that needs the orange key card, which we don't have right now. crummy shooting on my part there. And here we are in the stairwell. Up to floor C. Jump up on these boxes and you will need to go through this grate. Okay. And then right in here is where you will need to use your receivers. Let me turn on my goggles. If you are quick enough, then you can hit the put one receiver on and then hit the button at just the right time as you hit the transmitter, but this is way a little bit easier. So you need to hit both buttons at the same time, and this should be easy. Go. Bam! Look at that. And here you have some battery fuses. This one is for floor A, floor B, C. This one is for the lift, and this one is for the stairwell. There's no reason to power the stairwell at all, so you can go ahead and take that off. We are going to want to power the lift, floor B, and floor C. We'll get around to powering floor A in a little bit. Now, be careful. If by powering the floor and the lift, you can move the lift to whatever floor you want. If you move the lift up to floor C and then you drop down to floor A without having A and the lift powered, there is no way to bring the lift back down to you, and you have just failed the game. Just reload from a previous save. Unless, yeah, I don't even think you can get the other ending that way. So yeah, be very careful. I'm going to step you through exactly what to do with floor A and what to do all with the lift. After that point, you'll not need to use the lift at all, so that won't really be an issue. So let's get on with it. I forgot to mention why exactly it is that you are powering these floors. In order to use the buttons, like to open doors and whatnot, on a floor, it needs to be powered. That's why we're powering these floors and why it matters. I don't think I went over that, but there you go. Moving on. So, here we are on floor C. Open that door. There's a grate over this way. We're going to want to open up. You can see a walker standing right there. Basically, we're going to open up this, need to get to the other side, open up this grate. To get to the other side, we're going to need to come up to floor C from the lift side. That is why we are powering the lift and those other floors. Yep, now that we are not powering the stairwell, we need to use our goggles down here. So, floor B, there's going to be a slasher comes screaming across this way. Got him. Over here is a save spot. So, you can drop off your receivers right now if you want, get any more ammo or health if you need it. Always checking for ambushes. Oh, I didn't check that way. I'm an idiot. Yep. In order to get to this ending, you will need to have the black section powered, but we'll get to that later. Now, let's bring the lift up from floor A to floor E. There we go. That's what that switch did, if you didn't notice. Now here we are on floor C. There's going to be that walker we were looking at earlier. This door leads you further into the black section to solve some of the puzzles and get one of the keys. We're going to do that later. There. Open that up. Now we can run back to Actually, we are going to run to the lift first on floor C. We need to raise the lift to floor C by hitting this button right here. And we are going to get the third receiver. It's pretty easy to get to. Problem is you're going to have to fight for it. So be ready to do that. It is technically lit in here, but I'm going to use your goggles anyway. So on this side there's a slasher, and that side there's a slasher. You know, your first instinct might be to shoot that walker. That will activate both of those. But if you take them on one at a time, the walker won't even notice. So let's go do that. Oh, come on. Terrible shooting on my part. But I only got hit once. And see, he didn't even notice. Let's wake him up. Okay. And there's the last receiver. This light switch, all it does is turn off the lights, so don't need to worry about that. Okay, now let's go make sure that we don't mess up the game. We're going to need to get back down to the control room in the black section, which is on this floor. And we want to power floor A. We can depower floor C pretty without too many worries. So let's go. You can stop by the safe spot if you need to grab health or something, but it's not that important. Okay, now we're just going to drop down. We're now underneath where the lift would be. There's a dead Haydee here who has some health for us. Come on. Now we're going to walk out of the door and just hit the button to drop the lift back down to floor A. And we will not need to move the lift again. Bam. As long as we're down here, let's go clean up some of the... There's 2 more bots on floor G that we can get to pretty easy. Just get them out of the way, so they don't sneak up on us when we get to that point. Remember, this is the floor where we got the crowbar. They're down this way. We've already killed that one. Now, when we walk to this end of the hall, a slasher bot will drop down somewhere over there and start charging at us. See, you can hear him. Bam! Grab the loot off these 2 dead Haydees. Now, when we leave this area, another slasher bot will drop down right here. So, be ready for that. Yep. Damn it. Okay, so make sure you aim better than I do. That might be a good idea. So, that way it just leads down to the crowbar. This way it leads back up to the stairwell. And there's one thing I forgot to do. This grate right down here on floor A leads you behind the lift room, so you can go loot some magnum ammo off this dead Haydee. And now we are done with the introductory portion of the black section. Should all be taken care of now. We can go back up to floor B, go to the save room, or we can continue on to the control room of floor C and continue. and we will move on from there next time. Till next time, later.